Hello everyone, it's Diane from Stamping with Diane in Innisfil, Ontario, and today I want to show you a variation on this sweet little Easter card that could be used for any occasion, but we are going to use the Decorative Borders stamp set to create this one. So specifically, I'm choosing this particular image, and I'm going to start off though with a half page of our Daffodil Delight. I've left it at the 4 1/4. I've cut it in half lengthwise, so 4 1/4, and then I've scored it at the 5 1/2 mark. And then I've come across, and on this front panel, I have removed a strip that is 2 1/2 inches, okay, 2 1/2 inches, and we want to keep this strip. So then our card is going to fold over like so. We need a couple of pieces of designer paper, and the set I'm using is the Design a Daydream, which is a host set available in our annual catalog. It's a fantastic deal of 48 12 by 12 sheets and beautiful color palette here with some bold prints and some softer background prints as well. So today I'm going to use this paper because I thought it coordinated quite nicely with the decorative borders here and this floral design. This is the back side of them. So we're going to adhere this piece onto the front, and the other piece of designer paper is going to come onto the piece that we have removed from the front. So just a light bit of our white glue on here. And with the white glue, you can kind of shimmy it around a wee little bit before it sticks. Make sure you've got a nice straight border on all sides. And then this one, as I say, I'm going to adhere onto the piece that we removed. And there's our two pieces now adhered. I haven't stuck it on the top. And then we also have an insert. So this is our regular 4 by 5 1/4. And this is going to show across the front. So I'd like to use this piece, and we're going to make a border across the bottom. So in order to do that, I'm going to pull out our Stamparatus. And I have the magnets in place here and putting it right up at the lines in order to hold this in place. And then I want this to appear just across the bottom like so. So I'll use the plate and I'll pick that up. Now I do have the foam mat underneath because this is a photopolymer set. And I'm going to ink this up with the rich raspberry. So I just ink it up here and press firmly. See how that looks. Oh, beautiful. Okay, so now I'm going to use some hinge stamping. I'm going to lift this piece up so that it's going to stay at exactly the same height. And we'll pop it in down below. Now, yeah, not too bad. There's going to be one teeny little space there. So I'm going to slide my page down just a titch, but I'm keeping it lined up there. I can check. I think I need to go one tiny bit further. So this is going to keep it lined up nicely. So let's try this. Ink it up again and check it. Looks good. and press. Press in place, and we'll repeat that one more time. Coming down, and again I'm going to slide it just a wee bit down to line that up. Yep, looks good. So that turned out nicely, and I've chosen to use this pansy patch stamp set for our happy birthday and for the sentiment on the inside. So I've got the sentiment here, and I want it to be quite in the middle here because our top flap on the outside of the card is going to cover over that. So I'll bring my plate back into position, pick that up. Oops, didn't quite pick up. Oh, there we go. So I've inked up this sentiment. That looks, let me just see if that's going to be too high. No, that should be just fine. Press that into place. And then I'm also going to do the happy birthday for the front of the card. So while I have the Stamparatus out here, not that I need the Stamparatus, but just to show it is nicely on camera here, I'm going to use the happy birthday and stamp that like so. There we go. So that's all the stamping we need. And now to clean these stamps off on the Stamparatus, I just take one of my chamois and wipe that down to get rid of that ink. Okay, so with my sentiment, I'm going to slide that into this punch. I think it's the, what is it, the universal or the postage stamp punch. And we'll just give that a nice, that centers that really nicely. And then we're going to adhere this inside the card and this on the front of the card, and then I'll show you where we're at. Now when adhering this front piece, make sure you're just putting the glue on half, and I could bring it right to this edge, but I just want it kind of centered here. I like that I can see my border down below, and I really like how it coordinates, I feel, with this paper. Okay, now we're thinking spring here, so I'm bringing in our tulip punch, and I'm going to punch out with the rich razzleberry flower and the other leaf, and I want one more of those leaves. So I'm lining this up once more and going to punch this one. There we go. Get rid of these little bits. Always empty your punch of the little scraps. And I'm going to do one in the pear pizzazz. Same thing. Punch. I've got the leaf and I've got the flower. And I want to do one more, just the leaf here. So I've got it lined up this way. Punch through this one. And the fun thing about this is they can layer. So I'm going to bring my bone folder in here, and if you can see, let's put something colorful underneath just so you can see a bit better. Okay, here's the tulip, here's one leaf, and here's the other leaf. So these could be used as leaves, but they can also be used to add a bit of 3D effect to the flower itself. So I'm just taking my bone folder, giving it a little bit of a swoop, and then I'd like to do something similar on the back. So we're just going to see if we can make these leaves kind of pop out from in behind. All right, going to grab some of my little glue dots here. I always save my extra glue dots from kits that I purchase or the paper pumpkin kits. So there's one on the back of that petal, one on the back of this petal. Just pull off those backings And we'll just adhere it, and I don't want it to be exactly on top. I really want this flower to look 3D. So we'll just do this and this. Ooh, I like that. And then, let's see, do we just want some green showing in behind? And the nice thing about these is you can flip them over, or do we want the whole flower kind of showing in behind? I think I like that. I'm going to build another whole flower back here, but I'm not so concerned about it lining up. I want these leaves to stick up higher. So let's go ahead and do that here. Put a glue dot on here, remove the backing, pop that leaf, and I did want it up higher. A glue dot over here. Again, remove your backing, pop that on there. Let's give it a bit of a curl. And let's see how that layers. Yeah, I like that. I think that looks now like it's got a little bit of 3D to it. So I'll add some white glue to the back here. Oops. There we go. Okay, so bringing back in our card front and the happy birthday. Now, does that pop enough there? What I'd like to do now is add some of this crinkle ribbon. Sorry, it's not crinkle ribbon. This is the iridescent glittered organdy ribbon. And I wanted to show you how to make a bit of a ruffle using this. So I have my tear and tape, and I'm just going to add a little strip of tear and tape at the bottom end of my border. Pull the backing off this, and now this is making this to be right along the edge. So, got my ribbon, and I'm just going to fold it back on itself as far as I want the pleats to be. So I can make large pleats or small pleats, and I'm pressing it down onto that tear and tape as I go. I'm just getting a little bit to pop out below. I think I want more showing. Let's try that again. So I want it to hang down a little bit farther there so we can see more of this ruffle. Fold it back, continue, fold it back, continue. Hold this with the bone folder, fold it back. So I'm just ruffling this, pressing it down and folding it back on itself until I get the desired look here. Now I'll show you from the other side what this looks like. And we get this cute little ruffled look down below. Cute, cute. All right, let's snip that off. And then I'm actually going to put another layer of tear and tape on top just to hold those ruffles closed. And now I'm letting the tear and tape go across the ribbon so that it's going to stay in place there. There we go. Okay, before I pull that backing off, that's going to make this super sticky. So let's decide how we want this to sit on the card. I like it over here because it pulls this out. I like this in here as that 3D look. What do you think? Yeah, I like that. Okay, so I'm going to add some dimensionals to the back of this because that tear and tape does, the ribbon, when it's ruffled that way, it does create a little bit of height. So we'll pull off the backing there, which is going to make this nice and sticky. And that's going to hold the pleating all together. And then we'll put a dimensional on there as well. Keep the height there. Oops. And pop this one on. Do I want it on an angle? I think I do. Putting that one on a bit of an angle, and a couple of dimensionals on our tulip. So springy and fun. There we go. And now let's take a little bit of our Wink of Stella. I wonder if we can get a splatter on here. Oh yes. Okay, getting a bit of a splatter look. We'll find some bling. So I'm choosing the basic rhinestones, but I would really like them to be rich razzleberry. So I'm going to take my Stampin' Right marker, my rich razzleberry, and I'm going to just use the brush end and color 3 of these rhinestones. So now I can have rhinestones in any color that I own a Stampin' Right marker for. So I'm just going to let that dry for a second. Okay, so these, I've just let them sit for a few minutes, and I'm just going to use my Take Your Pick tool to slide them off. And I'm going to put 1, 2. I hope this is a new trick for you. It's one I don't use often. We have bling in so many of our colors, but using these markers, you can make your bling customized for the cards that you want. And there we go. So we've got a little bit of bling there, and I think that ties in nicely with the ribbon here on the edge. So this was the original Easter design, and here it is stepped up using the decorative borders, and I really like it. I hope you do too. All right, please like and share and follow my YouTube channel, and I'd appreciate it if you subscribe. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.